Last week, I told you guys that 2015 LinkedIn left a code that made me wonder what the hell did you write? Like, what is the master? What is the plan behind this? What is the thing that your mastermind have come up? And well, I have officially remember what the hell did I write in 2015, and oh my god, I'm a genius. Like literally though, this would be the second. No, this will be one of my favorites, but not number one. Though my number one is Truba and Lasty Fantasy Island. And you might be wondering, so what did you write? So 2015 Lingdan write harem, but not really. And I'm like, what the hell does that supposed to mean? Harem, but not really? Girl, what are you trying to tell me? If you know me, you know that I mother effing hate harem. Any kind of harem, I hate. Harem, reverse harem, mecha harem, neko harem. Please, throw them out the mother effing window. The only harem so far that I enjoyed was probably the Monogatari series. And they are full of vampires. And now to my 2015 creation. I don't have a name for it. God damn it. Just throw the name out of the window and just get to the plot already. Like I said before, harem, but not really. So I need to explain to you guys a few things. When someone have trouble in real life, they get emotion. I'm sorry. This would happen like probably a few times during the video. I'm sorry. When someone facing some kind of trouble and they cannot express themselves to somebody else, or they cannot solve the problem by themselves, they have no one to talk to, they will get emotionally restrained, and that feeling, all they feel would be chaos. So of course there would be. So they are bound to be attracted towards people who give out the peaceful vibe. They will be automatically attracted to people who they find the potential to help them. And sometimes this attractiveness could be misunderstood as love or affection. And that is the idea for this specific harem film. So like it starts out like many other typical harem that you find. A city girl who decided to move back to her countryside to live with her grandparents because she is tired of all the shit happens in the city. And I would be to be honest, I relate to her. Like shit, sometimes I hate being in the city, and the only thing good about the cities is Wi-Fi, okay? And of course, I have 5 typical characters that you would find in every single harem in the world. The childhood friend, the typical bad boy, the relatable joker, the special one, not the one that you end up with, but the one with a special edition, I will tell you guys. And the stalking one. And now, let's talk about the protagonist first. The protagonist part is my favorite part. You know, different from all the other harem protagonists, an average girl having an average life with a totally average look, but somehow managed to attract like a tons of hot boys with outstanding look, with her average personality, just because she seems a really nice person. And usually this girl, the protagonist, is stupid, ditzy, tries to be cool, a mother effing crybaby, and quits easily. But no, not in my universe, okay? Those people like that, they already die when they step into this world, okay? I would already get rid of them. And my protagonist is a laid-back girl. I am sorry if all of the protagonists in all of my writing sounds like me. It's my writing. And usually good writings are writings that are able to express that are able to express a relatable content. In other words, writings that takes inspiration from real life things, like from Hayao Miyazaki, taking this inspiration of his neighbor and comes up with Totoro, My Neighbor. That is a true story. I actually read documents by Hayao Miyazaki. Anyway, so basically the protagonist is me if she is like a braver person, is into philosophy more, less annoying, less sarcastic, more beautiful, more athletic a little bit. Not perfect. She's not an energetic person, and she is definitely not a sweetheart and definitely a lazy girl. But of course, she has her mature side, okay? And now let's get to the character, to the harem. And now the typical childhood friend. Okay, so this is what happens in normal harem. The childhood friend is usually the overprotective or the brother kind of friend. He would be super protective, take care of you as if you were his little sister, even though if you were actually sister, it would actually become an incest, which is actually pretty popular in Japan. Like, what the fuck, Japan? But in my case, oh no, honey, no one. I mean, basically, no one after meeting for maybe a few years could like be close to each other that fast. Like, you have met each other for like 10 years or 7 years. Of course, you would have things to catch up, and different from the typical child friend characters where like he or she could just remember you immediately and he or she will be like your partner immediately. No, the childhood friend in my universe, after like 7 or 10 years not being able to see each other, he is quite distant. Distant. Like, of course, they had time to catch up with each other, tell each other stuff. It was not easy for him to like, get like really close to her. And now to his problem, he's a rich kid, and you might be thinking, oh, so the typical rich kid problem. No, not in my mind. Of course, he would have a type of rich kid problem, but in my own version. Now, so instead of being pressured by his parents and society to become a perfect person, the rich dude is actually have a problem consists of feeling of identity crisis. Okay, so it is a bit hard to understand, but hear me out. It started out as a cliche. Of course, the rich kid will have like all of the pressures from his parents and from the society, but to him it is a normal problem because, let's be real, there are many comic relief thing in real life that could help you distract from all the stress, but you will eventually form a second persona or alter ego, and there will be time that you suddenly have a identity crisis of whether you are the real self or the other persona is the real self. So this is the problem of this character. And finding peacefulness and the laid backness in the protagonist, he will actually believe that he is in love with her. Now to the next character, the bad boy. Usually in the harem series, the bad boy is like a tsundere boy that would always act bad, act tough, is a punk kid, is a delinquent, having family issues, usually daddy issues, but not in my universe, okay? So usually those bad boys characters are tsundere, where they act cold towards the protagonist, but actually they love the protagonist. And usually this character trait is called tsundere. And I find a mental illness that somehow is really close to tsundere trait. It is called hysteria. Yep, I'm actually doing it. the bad boy dude in my universe has hysteria, and he will act violent, and also he will act rude towards her. Of course, I just have to add all of those angsty content. And the protagonist in my universe, for once, unlike other harem protagonists, will actually acknowledge the fact that this dude is a douche. But of course, the bad boy also have like soft. Usually, in other movies, the bad boy has soft spots for maybe flowers, cats. Usually cat. But this dude, he is afraid of commitment. Not only hysteria, but commitments towards all the things that he's passionate about because of hysteria. So that would be the problem that the protagonist will have to face. Okay? Okay. Next character. Wait for me. Is the relatable jokesters. And if you know Mystic Messenger, this is basically 707. That is so typical. But in my universe, nope. No, not in my universe. The relatable jokester in my universe is someone who you relate to so much. They are basically the other gender equivalent of each other, like Rin and Len. You know, Vocaloid? Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, kind of, sorry. And as I said before, this dude would joke all the time. The protagonist and him will get along super well. They are like BFF, ditch the childhood friend away. Yeah, kind of like that. But of course, the relatable jokester usually have really deep-rooted issues. Usually it is whether they have some kind of bad childhood or secret that they try to hide behind the smile. But no, mine is different. Usually I think those people like that have issues about being the outstanding person, you know? Like I've said before, society is a motherfucking bitch. And it will force people into the corner and leave them with no choice but to live as a person who they are not really are. And how did I explain this? People, when they're like, how do I say that, their real personality doesn't really attract other people to them, they will automatically try to find the individual with an outstanding character and they will try to copy them. In this case, it is that dude who copied the protagonist. And now you might be thinking, but maybe they have just met? How could he already copy her? Yeah, because of mastering copying other people in the past 7 or 10 years, I could already give him a degree for copying other people's style. But it is not his fault. And for the protagonist will have to dig through all of his upper persona to come to the real person. And not to the special one. Not the one you end up with, but the one that has a special addition to it. And you know, all the harem, I thought that they lack this one special feature that I just had to come up with. It is a gay suitor. And you might be thinking, Lindy, you seem to be really open when it comes to LGBT community, right? Yes, I am super open. I think the fact that America just legalized gay marriage 3 years recently is stupid, while Canadians already do it more than 10 years ago. Bravo to Canada. Anywho, like I've said before, this lesbian, because the protagonist is a girl, duh, or maybe if you can swap the gender, I don't know. That person will of course be restrained by feeling of wanting to coming out, but feeling afraid because what if they come out? Yeah, society is a bitch to LGBT person. So of course, different from finding peacefulness in the protagonist like other characters, this girl finds the idea of becoming the protagonist's best friend comforting, and will try to make use of it as possible. And of course, the protagonist will eventually notice because of the increasing level of of skinship. Yeah, just gonna stay for straight. And now to the last one, like